I just bought a car worth $100,000 with old man's money. Christina cheerfully told Erica and me, who were both physically and emotionally exhausted just after my husband's funeral. Matt was happily looking at the contract that Christina had brought. Whose money did you say? What on earth do you mean? I couldn't help but raise my voice in frustration. Despite Erica and I mourning the loss of my husband, my eldest son and his wife seemed not to mourn, but even appeared happy. The insurance money will be deposited, right? Plus, there should be an inheritance. From Christina's bag emerged, shockingly, my husband's passbook. Seeing that, I couldn't help but burst into laughter. What's so funny? You plan to buy it with that? Sorry for you. Because that passbook. Struggling to speak through my laughter, my words turned my son and his wife pale. My name is Anna Brown. I married Wayne, and we were blessed with a daughter, Erica, and a son, Matt. Wayne's family had been doctors for generations. Both my father-in-law and mother-in-law held medical licenses. And Wayne had always worked hard to become a doctor. I came to know him through a friend. Attracted to his hardworking and admirable nature, which I learned about through a friend, I decided to marry him. Seeing his dedication, Erica decided to pursue a career in medicine. Erica was not naturally gifted in her studies, but I watched her work hard every day. We never forced her to become a doctor. Yet, he was very happy when she decided on her own to pursue medicine. Mom. I got straight A's on my report cards in high school. Hearing that, I cried tears of joy because her efforts had paid off. Why are you crying now? I have to keep working hard. I was truly glad to see her grow up to be kind and robust. However, my son Matt, in contrast to Erica, was born premature and had always been frail. I was overly protective of Matt, I admit. Yet, as Matt grew, his health improved, and he grew as tall as his friends. He didn't go to a tutoring but always scored full marks in his elementary school tests. I felt very relieved seeing him grow up healthily. But in the latter half of middle school, Matt began coming home with bruises every day. Matt. What happened? You are injured. I was worried, but Matt started to ignore me. Those are bruises from a fight. Boys will be boys. It's kind of good that he can fight like that now, isn't it? As long as he's not troubling anyone else, let him be. Wayne said this with a laugh. Thinking back, I should have let him be to some extent as Wayne had said. But I couldn't be optimistic, fearing something irreversible might happen if I took my eyes off Matt. Worried, I asked him repeatedly, did you get into a fight? Who did this to you? And Matt gradually started to avoid me. You're being annoying. If you ask again, I'll never speak to you again. Indeed, despite being told to leave him alone, I persisted. After Matt warned me, I reflected and left him alone. But he would get new injuries just as old ones healed. Despite my worries, all I could do was watch. While Matt was indeed academically capable, he spent his high school years fighting. And he ended up going to a local public high school. As he became a high school student, I hoped that he would start thinking about his future. Or university once he got through his teenage years, but Matt remained unchanged. Yo, give me some money, he would say, using harsh words. If you think acting like a delinquent is cool, you're sorely mistaken. Huh? What did you say? It seemed like it would turn into a fight when Erica said that. And I couldn't bear the thought of Matt possibly hurting Erica. Please, no fighting. Here, the money. It's for your lunch, right? I hurriedly pulled out a $50 bill from my wallet and handed it to Matt as I spoke. Matt grimaced and left. Erica glared at him as he went. How did it come to this? Have I spoiled him too much? I spend every day reflecting, blaming myself. Matt didn't change even as his classmates started preparing for university entrance exams. Out of desperation, Wayne tried to talk to Matt multiple times, but Matt even hurled abuse at him. Though Matt hasn't been involved in anything that required police intervention. He has been picked up by the police several times for staying out late with friends. Eventually, he neither found a job nor decided on further studies. And it was just settled that he would graduate from high school. Matt, what are you going to do in the end? You can do well if you study. And it's not too late to go to university. I'm not saying you have to become a doctor. But you should get a job. I said that to him, but Matt no longer even looked me in the eyes. However, a year later, Matt, still unemployed living at home, approached me. Hey. Was he going to ask for money again? When I turned around, Matt said, I'm having a kid. I'm getting married. I was so shocked I lost my words. Then, Matt added, I'll start working for now. Can my wife and I live here? Wait. I'm still not clear on the situation. Let's talk with your father first. That night, Wayne, Matt, and I talked. We were convinced by Matt's willingness to work and his resolve to welcome his child and wife. And we decided to accept the new family members. On the day we were to meet her, Wayne, Erica, and I waited at home. Matt had gone to pick up his girlfriend. They're late, huh? Even after the scheduled 1 p.m., the two did not appear. I feared they might have had an accident. We tried contacting them but couldn't reach them. Anxious, we waited, and finally, just before 3 p.m., they appeared, nonchalantly. I'm back. Wow, this really is a huge house. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Christina. I was stunned by the woman who appeared with Matt. Despite being pregnant, she wore high heels. She sported a short skirt that could chill her body, long, sharply pointed glittering nails. And she held a plastic bag from a baby goods store, starting with that line. Nice to meet you. I'm Matt's mother. Oh wow, you're more beautiful than Matt said. Nice to meet you. Her demeanor showed not a trace of manners, leaving me utterly bewildered. Where's my room? We haven't decided yet. I see, then I'll just put the baby's stuff in the living room. Saying that, Christina made her way into the house and headed for the living room. She then spoke to Wayne and Erica in the same tone she had used with me. The checkout was busy. Sorry for the delay. You waited, right? Christina said that as she returned to the living room. Wayne, Erica, and I could only exchange looks and converse with our eyes. Huh? Are you guys nervous? Relax, relax. At that line, we could only be dumbfounded. We had thought it was just a greeting today, but Christina, with her multitude of belongings in the living room, acted as if she owned the place. Afterward, we formally greeted Christina again. She's 22 and apparently works at a bar. Her parents divorced when she was young, and though she was raised by her father, he later disappeared, and she grew up in an orphanage. I understand it must have been hard without any family. But there are those who manage to behave properly regardless. I don't think one's background excuses rudeness. After Christina talked about her past, Erica said, How many weeks pregnant are you now? You are wearing high heels now. It doesn't look like your belly is showing yet, but it's dangerous. I felt relieved when Erica bluntly pointed that out. Then, in place of Christina, Matt spoke. Right? I thought so too. But Christina only has shoes with heels, apparently. Yo, buy her some. I was taken aback when he suddenly brought it up to me. Oh, no need to freak out. You wouldn't know my taste, huh? Just give me the money, and I'll choose them myself. I was at a loss for words with Christina's unabashed attitude. Erica shouted at the two of them. Why does Mom have to buy them? Matt, you should buy them. But, you know, the baby inside is your mother's grandchild, right? So what? It's your child, isn't it? Scary. Is this what a sister-in-law is like? Erica was furious at her words, and Wayne kept his mouth shut in a straight line. What a rude girl. Her attitude seemed nothing but scornful toward us, who she had just met. But now we must live together. It wouldn't be wise to fall out here and now. Gradually, she should develop some maternal instincts and grow into a parent and an adult. By then, she should choose to take off her heels and remove her nails herself. That's all I can believe. As a doctor, Erica was particularly disturbed by Christina's lack of parental awareness. And she spat out her advice. Anyway, earn enough to buy your shoes before you start showing. Also, remove those nails. If you can't wear a pulse oximeter, they'll be forcibly removed. After saying this, Erica left the living room and retreated to her room. Christina looked at her mockingly. But Matt said to her, "Don't mind her. She's just jealous because I got married before her," which made Christina laugh. And so, our life together began. Christina went to her job but didn't lift a finger around the house. Using her pregnancy as an excuse, she spent her days off just sleeping. Matt started working as he declared. But it was a cycle of quitting after fights and then searching for another part-time job. It was truly a headache. However, Wayne said nothing about their behavior. I think he had given up on them by then. But unexpectedly, something happened to Wayne. As we had gathered all the baby items, and were about a month away from the birth of the grandchild, Wayne collapsed at the hospital where he worked. Despite immediate medical attention, he did not survive. Despite everything, I had looked forward to our family growing, but never expected to lose him before that. I fell into a deep depression, and Erica supported me through it. Inspired by Erica, I managed to behave bravely and successfully conducted the funeral. On the morning of the funeral, I said to Christina, "Christina, you can stay home today. Your belly is big and it must be tough to attend the funeral." "Really? Then, I'll stay home." She was close to giving birth and anything could happen at any time, so I said this out of concern. Christina happily accepted my suggestion. It was my proposal, after all. Though I felt somewhat uneasy, I headed to the funeral home. Matt, who arrived late, seemed concerned about Christina and kept in touch with her on his smartphone. I did caution him once, but since the baby could come at any time, I decided to overlook it unless it was during the funeral. Having managed to get through the funeral, we were both physically and emotionally exhausted when we returned home. While Erica and I were in a daze in the living room, we discussed what to do for dinner. Christina came down from the second floor and handed some documents to Matt. All done. Did the old man make it to heaven safely? Both Christina and Matt laughed at her joke. Maybe hell. You guys, the funeral just ended today. What are you saying? Erica was furious, but I no longer had the energy to be angry. Come on, Erica, I'll let you in too. As Christina spoke to Erica, she pointed at the documents she had handed to Matt. Both Erica and I involuntarily looked at the documents. What is that? What do you mean let her in? I actually bought a car for $100,000 using old man's money. Both Erica and I were shocked. Matt seemed to know already, as he happily examined the documents without any surprise. Whose money did you say? What on earth do you mean? I couldn't help but raise my voice in irritation. Wayne had just passed away, and while Erica and I were mourning, the eldest son and his wife seemed not to mourn but even appeared happy. The insurance money will be transferred, right? Plus, there should be an inheritance. While saying that, Christina took out a passbook from her bag. Dad's passbook. Christina, did you find and take this while we were out of the house? Don't make it sound so bad. We're a family living together, so it's not a stealing. Besides, I asked Matt about where the passbooks were kept, right? Matt? Christina defiantly said that. It seemed Matt was also complicit. What a pitiful eldest son. I hadn't thought it would come to this. Despairing, I still looked up to see the passbook in Christina's hand. Wayne's name was unmistakably written on it. However, upon closer inspection, I felt something was off about that passbook. When I realized what was off, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Once I started laughing, I couldn't stop. It had been a while since I had laughed this much. Christina frowned as I laughed heartily. What's so funny? Has the old lady finally lost it? Matt hurled insults at me, but I felt no anger anymore. It seems I was mistaken to ever think Matt was smart as a child. Instead, I felt pity for the foolish couple. So, you were going to buy a car, right? Have you already signed the contract? Are you planning to buy it with that money? Sorry for you. Did you see the balance in that passbook? At my words, Matt hastily snatched that from Christina and opened it. What the heck? There's only $3 in here. What? They looked into the passbook and turned pale. Yes, that account was intended to be closed, and the balance had been withdrawn. This is a joke. Where is the old man's inheritance? Besides, the insurance money should be deposited too. Matt started to get angry. Christina also chimed in, pressing me. Yes. There is an inheritance, and there will also be insurance money. My in-laws passed away early, and Wayne had accumulated a significant inheritance. Especially since Wayne was not just a doctor but a practicing physician. He managed several hospitals within a group and built up a total asset value of $11 million. However, those were assets he built, not assets he held. But, most of the assets have been donated already. He always said he wanted to use the fees he received from patients to help save other patients. What? Didn't you know? The large donation was even in the newspapers. Upon hearing this, Matt began to tremble. He had never been interested in family matters and never read the newspapers. It's no wonder he didn't know. Besides, the remaining money is managed through online banking. We can't move it anyway until we go through the inheritance procedures. What about the insurance money? When will it be transferred? Christina, panicking, grabbed the passbook and pressed me for answers. Then, Erica, standing beside me, started to laugh. Don't you know? Insurance money isn't deposited into the deceased's account, but into the beneficiaries. Into mine and Mom's accounts. Hearing this, the passbook slipped from Christina's hands. Matt looked utterly lost. Erica and I looked at each other and laughed. What are we going to do? I've already made the contract. I added lots of options, and they said I can't cancel. Mom. Just this once, please. Lend me the money. Next to the unsettled Christina, Matt begged. It had been so long since he called me Mom. It felt strange, as if a stranger was asking me for a favor. I don't know. You need to figure it out yourselves. I coldly pushed them away. Today, I couldn't tolerate the behavior of the two. Surely, Wayne might have felt the same. Mom, I'm tired. Let's go to sleep. Yes. I'm not even in the mood for dinner. Erica and I said this, then stood up. Ignoring the two sweating it out in the living room, we headed to the bedroom. It turned out that Matt had been in contact with Christina during the funeral, because he was coordinating with her as she went to sign the car contract. I thought he was worried about her condition. But it seems the car was more important to them than their unborn child. Wayne had said during his lifetime that if there was an inheritance, he wouldn't want Matt and Christina to have a single penny, so as planned, the insurance money was transferred to Erica and me. Wayne was still quite young when he passed away. But since Matt had his own family yet remained unreliable, Wayne had carefully thought about what would happen after his death and even left a will. According to the will, the house, the land, and the majority of the remaining cash were left to me. He named Erica as the successor to his medical practice. And Wayne's personal investment assets were to be left to her. The will also mentioned that a large piece of land in the countryside was to be given to Matt. When we opened the will and everyone heard this, Christina said, "Then, can't I sell the land to buy the car?" Listen until the end. I interrupted her remarks and continued reading. I'm giving Matt that land and $100,000 to build a house. And I demand that he move out. Huh? What does that mean? This is a family court. The will had been validated and held full legal effect as a certified document. What does it mean? It means exactly as it says. You should be grateful that you're getting the land and money to build a house. But eventually, this house should belong to Matt as the eldest son. Christina said this while looking at me for help. I smiled slightly. What I've received is mine to give to whoever I choose. You, old hag. Better hurry back home and pack your things. The land Wayne specified for Matt is about 30 miles away by car, deep in the mountains. Indeed, it's a vast area, but most of it is untouched woodland. Even with a large piece of land, if the building cost is only $100,000, the house that can be built there would be quite small. Surely, if there was nothing, Matt and Christina would have made a big fuss about the statutory share. Whether Wayne anticipated this and therefore left them that land, I don't know his true intentions. But I believe Wayne created an environment where Erica and I could live peacefully. Moreover, this eldest son and his wife shouldn't have any rights to receive anything originally. I think they should be grateful for whatever they can get. A few days later, the grandchild was born. Christina's water broke at home in the middle of the night, and Erica immediately called the hospital to get her taken in. However, Christina's blood pressure dropped, and at the understaffed hospital during the night, Erica had to perform an emergency cesarean section. Despite being repeatedly told by Erica to remove her nails, Christina didn't listen and kept them on. The nurse apparently had to forcibly remove them. No. I just had these done 3 days ago. Don't take them off. Christina. Don't move. The amniotic fluid is gushing out, Erica said as they struggled through the night. And I heard that was more troublesome than the surgery itself. I have never had such fancy nails, but it seems it was quite painful. It was indeed a case of reaping what she sowed. Christina complained about this, but having her and her child's lives saved, she couldn't hold her head high before Erica anymore and quickly became subdued. Despite being upset about the inheritance issue, they no longer act superior towards us. After being discharged, Christina should be grateful that she was allowed to rest for the first month postpartum. Mom, Erica, we were wrong. Can we stay here? We don't need the land or the money. No. Even if you stay here, you only earn enough for a part-time job. And don't contribute financially to the house. Keeping you here would cost more than $100,000. Matt pleaded with tears to Erica and me, but we firmly intended not to accept him. Naturally, he couldn't afford a car in such a state. Reluctantly, Matt went to cancel the car deal and was charged a cancellation fee of $10,000, which he had to pay from the $100,000 construction funds. Whether he disliked moving to the countryside, he tried to sell the land and rent an apartment. But rents are high around here and beyond what Matt and Christina can afford on their salaries. Plus the vast land, mostly covered in woodland, found no buyers. According to the will, they realized they had no choice but to build a house there, and are now desperately looking for a contractor who can build it for $90,000. But it's not going well. I'm only keeping you here because the baby is still young. I could ask you to leave right now if I wanted to. At my words, Matt fell silent. Then, a week later, he somehow found a building contractor. However, they could only afford a small prefab-like house. I doubt Christina would keep it clean, so a small house should be sufficient. The moving day was decided, and I told them, you also need to decide on a daycare, and until you settle down, we can keep the grandchild here. First, you both need to become independent as parents. Are you taking my child away? You monster. Recently subdued, Christina yelled and lost her composure at my words, but Matt stopped her. With only my income, I can't support both of you. Let's leave the child here until we settle down. No. If that's the case, I want a divorce. Even if you divorce, you still have no home to return to. Calm down. It seems Matt finally saw the reality. He was desperately trying to calm down an infuriated Christina. You're making it sound so bad. I'm not taking anyone away. If you can take her, go ahead. When I snorted and said this, Christina reluctantly calmed down. Perhaps realizing she had no choice but to let go of the child for now. Afterward, the two quietly packed their belongings and left the house. It's sad for the child, but with such parents, it might not make much difference whether they are around or not. Of course, if they change their mindset and I can trust them to take care of the child, it would be best if the parents raised their own child. However, I can't help but think the child might be happier being raised by Erica and me. I receive almost daily contacts from Matt and Christina, who moved to the new land. I am happy to reply if they ask about their daughter, but all their messages ask for money. Ignoring them, they sometimes send pictures of their dinner claiming they want sympathy, showing just pastries. Seeing this, Erica laughed, saying they wouldn't even be able to pay for medical care if they got sick. In rural life, a car is essential. Currently, they drive a used car purchased for $3,000, which apparently stalls often. They try to draw our sympathy with these stories, but they don't realize they are just a source of laughter for Erica. It's unlikely they could take back the child in such a state. But if I can live with my adorable granddaughter, that's fine by me. The granddaughter has turned 3. She is at her cutest age and is very obedient and kind, not resembling Matt or Christina. She seems to be a hard worker, learning numbers diligently with the numerical puzzle Erica bought her. And she can already read the alphabet. Matt and Christina live day by day. And even when they send a picture of their daughter, they only say, super cute, as if she were a stuffed toy. It seems they are still not ready to be parents. I hope that when the granddaughter grows up, she can use her parents as a negative example and grow up to be upright.